Hello artists! Today we're going to be creating an op art drawing. Op art stands for optical art, and that's when an artist uses colors and patterns and shapes to give an optical illusion. So it ends up looking like our drawing is moving or changing. We are going to create our op art using shapes and colors today. So to start off, I want you to draw 3 shapes on your paper, and we're going to draw them nice and large because we want them to fill up the space. You can draw 3 shapes that are the same, or you can draw 3 shapes that are different. I am going to draw a triangle, a square, and a circle. Okay, now that we have our shapes, we're going to turn our paper and we're going to draw diagonal lines across the whole thing. A diagonal line is a straight line that's been turned on its side, so it's at a slant. So we're going to start in the corner and draw diagonal lines. We're going to make sure to leave some space in between our lines that we draw, and we're going to cover the whole paper. Now that we've drawn our shapes and our lines, we're ready to color our picture, which will create the optical illusion. You need 2 different colors for this project, and you want to pick 2 colors that are very different from each other. So for example, I'm not going to pick both of these because they're very similar, or they look kind of the same. This is a light yellow and a dark yellow. Instead, I'm going to pick these 2 colors because they're different from each other. I have a yellow and a blue. I am going to pick one color to start with. I'm going to choose blue. I'm going to start by picking my first shape, the first stripe that I've created, and I'm going to color it in completely. Then I'm going to skip a stripe and move on to the next one and color this one blue. So every time I'm skipping a stripe, so blue, leave it alone. Blue, leave it alone. So for my next step, I'm supposed to skip this stripe and move on to this one. But now I have a challenge because when I go to color it, I can see that part of my circle is inside my stripe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to color everything except the shape. So when you're coloring a stripe, the first thing you need to do is look and say, is there a shape inside of it? And if there is, like this one, you're going to leave that alone. So I am not going to color that part. I'm going to keep repeating these steps of skip a stripe, color my next one, but if I hit a shape, I leave it alone. And I'm going to do that until my whole paper is done. Alright, once all of your stripes are colored with the first color, you're going to go in with your second color and you're going to fill in the stripes that you skipped. But we're doing the same thing, where if you hit a shape, you leave it alone and don't color it. So what that's going to mean is our shapes are going to be empty. There's going to be no color on my square, my triangle, or my circle. Alright, once you've colored all of your stripes, you'll notice that the shapes are left alone. There's no color in the shapes. Now we're ready to fill it in, and we're going to do the same thing where we color one stripe one color and then we switch. But we're going to do the opposite colors of what we did before. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to cover this up so you can see that I have an orange stripe right here. There's a part of my square in my orange stripe. I am going to color that part blue. Because if I colored it orange, it would just disappear and we wouldn't even be able to see it. So instead, I'm going to color it blue. Then I'm going to skip a stripe and color my next one blue. So all of the shapes that are in the orange stripe are going to be blue, and all of the shapes that are in the blue stripes are going to be orange. So now I'm looking at my blue stripe and the square, that's the part of the square that's in the blue stripe, is going to be orange. So I'm switching colors each time. Now I'm going to move to my next shape and I'm going to do the same thing. This is a blue stripe, so the part of the circle that's in the blue stripe is going to be orange, and the part of the circle that's in the orange stripe is going to be blue. Now you do your last shape, doing the same thing. The part that's in the blue stripe is orange, the part that's in the orange stripe is blue. And remember, you don't have to use blue and orange. Use whatever colors you want, and make sure you're switching each time. Once you're done coloring, you can see that we've created an optical illusion by changing the colors and the patterns as we move through shapes.